what is happening in Gaza, in Palestine, it is a proof that shows that we are actually expanding our consciousness awareness into enlightenment. So the earth is purging itself. Now, it's happening in Gaza and Palestine and in another limiting places in the world. I'm going to explain why this is true. At least it's my truth. As I always say, if it resonates with you as your truth, perfect. Otherwise, everything is okay. So I'm going to share as well something that it is painful. Like it is not going to be easy to read, but it is necessary, because if you want to change something, you first have to validate that pain. First, you have to acknowledge it, so then you can create a new destiny. I'm going to read some verses from the Jewish Bible that will leave you astonished, because they actually own and they are very proud of the killings that are happening in Palestine. It's actually written in the Bible. And before I begin, I will add as well that it is not true that they are killing those people in Palestine since like 75 years ago. It is not true. This been going on exactly the same since more than 3,000 years ago. Now you can Google it, you can look for it. They've been killing the people in Palestine that back before was Canaan, for more than 3,000 years ago. They were exterminating, genocide style always, the original inhabitants of that lands, that there were many different tribes, but one of the biggest one was the Amorites. The Amorites were killed by the Israelite Jew people, like the bad ones. I'm not going to separate specifically the Israelite bad people. Now, sadly is that the majority of them are bad, because the majority of Israelite and Israelite Jewish people are supporting their government. That's a fact. Now, again, if we want to change something, we have to validate it. And what is happening there, for me, it is representing a lot of evil in this planet. Why? Because they are the first Abrahamic religion, which is built in lies and manipulations. And this is purging. And this will stop. This is the presentation, and now I'm going to present myself. Hi, I am Amorita El-Jebari, and I'm the founder and creator of the Law of Becoming concept, formula, and movement that's changing so many lives right now. I started it as a movement in Spanish as La Ley del Ser, and now I am creating it in English as well as the Law of Becoming. It is based in my book, The Law of Becoming. This is a book that I created after a near-death experience back in 2020. I came back to my body, improving my English so much so that I can now speak to you and create these videos. I wrote that book, again, 1,400 pages in English, and I downloaded that information. I came back to my body literally with superhuman powers. One of the powers is to be able to tap into information and to download information about consciousness, existence, why we're here, how to manifest our dreams, and so on. I wasn't this person before at all. I wasn't spiritual. I didn't believe in anything. I had no idea about consciousness, pineal gland, dimensions. Never heard about it. But I came back to my body like this. And it was a superhuman, multidimensional experience that changed my life, and that's changing a lot of lives. So I created the formula as well and concept of the Law of Becoming, but for social media reasons, I created the book in English, but then I started the social media in Spanish. So now I'm here creating videos for you in English with all this information, and I want to clarify why I am expressing my perception of all what is happening with Gaza in Palestine, and why this is 100% linked to what I teach, which is manifestation and enlightenment. And it's because my book is about manifestation, enlightenment, and physical immortality. But to achieve that, we have to overcome the illusion of being physically separated from everything around us, because everything is oneness. So that is very difficult when the majority of people on earth believes that God is outside of you, thanks to the Abrahamic religions that positioned God not you, but outside of you. So you have to pray to something outside of you, but God, it is you. I assure you, you are God. I am. So in one point, writing my book, I wasn't planning it, but writing my book, I just like bumped into the reality of like, okay, Abrahamic religions. The first religion is Judaism, and I had to put awareness into it. Again, to create change, you have to validate what's happening. What do you don't want? The I am not. So you become who you really want to be, the I am. And it was like I found like all these connections with the Abrahamic religions and the Emerald tablets and Nimrod and Orion and the City of Light of San Yurfa and like Gobekli Tepe and the Anunnaki and like all this. And it was a rabbit hole, but it is super well like defined, and you will find like all the connections very simple explained in the book once it is released, which hopefully by the end of 2025. I don't know if I can make the corrections in time for then, but I will do my best. And as well with the Epic of Gilgamesh. So many things. And the reality is that Abrahamic religions create this consciousness of separation, that God is outside of you. So I had to include it, because if you want to become enlightened, if you want to manifest, you better like feel that you are it already. Now, if you feel that you already have it, that you can manifest it. But if you feel that you are already it as God, you're already connected to everything that you want. And as well, because once this earth hits like the Enlightenment sphere of existence, there will be no wars, there will be no competition, no hunger, no nothing. It will be just love and neutrality, which is the same, from polarity to trinity. So it was important to include this in the book. The book name is The Law of Becoming. So if you want to become something, you have to overcome it. So overcoming Abrahamic religions is part of the book. And probably these religions will transform into something greater, and they will eliminate the manipulations, the lies, the misunderstandings, and more specifically the horrible things that some of them put in their Bibles, as some examples that I'm going to read right now in this video for you from the Jew Bible, which is like monstrous and evil. And I will expose this from all my heart. Like, even so, I know that everything is neutral and there is no polarity and they are all me and we are oneness. Again, this is a game of polarization, and I have to validate and expose what I don't like, because I don't want to live in a world that has this genocidal like spirit. So then we can transform it into something greater. So now let's start again with the intention of this book, which is to shed light into what is really happening, which is they are not killing these people for 75 years. They're killing them for more than 3,000 years. I'm very proud of it. You can find it written everywhere by them. Okay. So people that were living back then there in Palestine before was Canaan, and the Canaanites were living there, and they exterminated them like as much as they could, like all the tribes, and the majority apparently of them were the Amorites. And I know that there is not a coincidence that my name is Amorite or Amorita. And I didn't know any of this. Like, that's the thing. So, and Amrita as well means immortality, which is like the key point of the book at the end, physical immortality. So everything is connected, but we have to liberate our brains, our state of beings, from believing in that separation, that we are not God, that we die physically, that all these beliefs that are built in these books and in so many other places. So, like, even if in the Christianity they believe that Christ it will return, and that they believe in kind of like an immortality, they don't believe in reincarnation, but they do believe like in the returning of Christ. Like, well, that's like the fourth, fifth dimensional consciousness. So now, they've been killing these people for more than 3,000 years with the belief of the promised land, the land that God promised to Moses and the burning bush hill, like I don't remember where. So they've been like living in that lie, and then that very full, like whatever that was for so many years. Now it's not even because of religion they want that land. Now it's because of evil. It's evil. They are evil people, basically, playing the game of evil. They are embodying the evil of the world. Like, it is not their fault, but it is our collective fault because we create the evil energy and someone has to embody it. They are them. So there are others, of course, but they are strongly represent evil because they are part as well of the creation of the first Abrahamic religion. They represent themselves as the chosen ones. Like, they are very proud to be the first Abrahamic religion. So there is so many things happening there that make them like one very powerful nucleus of evil energy. So, and at the same time, they are kind of the founders of like, let's conquer and separate and kill, basically. One of them, and a big one. So again, they are like, to be more specific, they're not all of them. I'm talking about the bad Israeli Jews, which, to be honest, like, it's not honest, like, to be real, is the majority of them, because the majority of them agree and support what the government is doing to the Gazan people. So I'm here as well to shed light and validate another truth, and it's like the evil texts part of the Bible. That, again, they're very proud of them. I'm going to read some verses of the Jewish Bible for you. You can find them everywhere. Like, if you Google them, look for them, like, they exist. So this is what they believe. I'm just going to read some of them. This next verse, and I will quote, not now, but I will quote, talks about killing followers of other religions. I quote, "Whomever sacrificed to any god except the Lord alone shall be doomed." Exodus 22:19 NAB. This next one says, "Kill those who do not follow Israelite priests." Quote, "Anyone arrogant enough to reject the verdict of the judge or of the priest who represents the Lord your God must be put to death. Such evil must be purged from Israel." You can find this one in Deuteronomy 17:12 NLT. Next one, there is so many of them. I'm not going to read so many of them, but just one for now, for this video. This one says to kill non-believers. I quote, "They entered into a covenant to seek the Lord, the God of the fathers, the God of their father, with all their heart and soul. And everyone who would not seek the Lord, the God of Israel, was to be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman." This, you can find it in the Two Chronicles, I cannot read this word, 15:12-13 NAB. Now, the reality here is that they don't only want to kill everyone in Palestine, which back then was Canaan, but now is Palestine. They want to kill everyone around it too, because the Promised Land doesn't end in Palestine. The Promised Land takes like a lot around, like many countries around it. If I'm not wrong now, because I don't have it here, like two of them at least is Libya and Egypt, I think. So they want to take over. And once they're done with that Promised Land, they want to conquer the world because they really believe that they are the chosen ones and everyone should be dead. And if they are tortured, even better, because I mean, like, they deserve the worst because they are not the chosen one. They are not born into being Jewish. They are not Jewish. Or they are not Jewish or did not convert it. So this is the reality. Now, again, if we want to change our destiny, we have to know what is happening, validate that, choose, I do not prefer this, so then we can create a new reality. I choose, I do not prefer the evil Israelite Jews part of our planet. Now, I'm not talking about like they have to disappear, but I'm talking about the way of being has to disappear, and it will disappear. And again, I don't care how, but it will disappear. And like, if we go back to the beginning of this video where I was being positive, and I am positive, this video actually is a good news, hope, positive video or podcast. If you are listening to me in the podcast, is because the earth is purging, and you know that you're doing it too, to like with yourself. As within, so without. Everybody's purging. You're purging your pains right now. I know that everybody's going through this transformation of purging, of eliminating fears, limiting beliefs, and so on. Like being conscious creators of their existence. So the earth, as within, so without, is the same. So she's purging itself as well. And one of the effects of that is that it's happening, what is happening in Gaza and in other places, that horror is happening as well in the world. But again, this one, the one that's happening in Gaza, is a very special nucleus of evil energy that represents the evil in the world. One of them, but maybe probably the biggest one, or one of the biggest one. So it is not a coincidence. It is a synchronicity of energy that's causing that event. There is no space for hiding anymore. There is no space for not being whomever you are being anymore. Authenticity and the real you, whatever it is what it is coming into the surface. So who are these people? Are evil, the majority of them. Now, if they don't support what their evil book says, and they're like, no, but I am Jew, but I don't support that this part of my book where it says that you should kill every kid and woman and man that is not like Jew. Well, if you don't support that, then change religion, create a new one, name it differently. That's it, because that information, it is in your book. So it represents you when you call yourself Jew. Now, again, this is a positive video. It is because the earth is purging itself. So if you are evil, like everyone will see you as you are. And this is what is happening right now with these people, with the bad Israelite Jews. I will be specific again, the bad Israelite Jews, not all of them, the bad ones. But again, they are the majority, because the majority of them, I correct myself, are justifying and supporting their government and what they're doing to the Gazans. There is no space to lie, there is no space to hide, as I was saying, and they cannot hide anymore. And that is why more people and more people and more people are seeing the evil in them, because they cannot hide anymore. And they actually cannot even help it, because they could kill them like in a I don't know, like hidden way. I don't know. But it's like they just do it in open eyes for the whole world to see. It is crazy. And the most absurd thing and hurtful thing is that the majority of the world for a long time were like okay with it. But now it's changing finally. And the truth is prevailing, which is like they are evil. Again, not all of them, the bad Israelite Jews. So in order to create change, we have to shed light into what is happening. We have to validate what is happening. We have to choose. I do not prefer this, because I definitely don't prefer to exist in a world, in a planet that can happen, that genocidal like behavior can happen. And I choose to be in a world that's like filled with compassion and greatness and so on and so forth, and oneness awareness, as I call soul awareness. This is what I choose. I have so much information in my book about like why, and again, it is not published, about like when they started to conquer Canaan, and all the intent for thousands of years of conquering. They killed them like over and over again. They will never get that land. Ever. You will never get it. Ever. It will be your promised land. Ever. So it will be the land of oneness, because at the end it's like that land is it has so much separation energy in it that in reality the opposite of love, like if you stretch like love so much, it is not hate, it's fear. So like that land, it is so like has so much energy of separation and fear. Like no separation from the Palestine, but like the fear that the Palestinians have because of the separation, like imposed by the Israelite Jews, bad ones. And that when it's gonna stretch enough, it's gonna be the most like loving oneness land ever. And it will be like this like pulse, electromagnetic pulse of goodness, of oneness, of love. And it's happening, but it's purging first. Because the earth, again, and I will end this video how I started, the earth is purging itself. So it's becoming more love, more oneness, from polarity to trinity, to neutrality. Now I can talk from this polarized like view, but it doesn't mean that I don't feel love and neutrality at the same time. So, see you in the next one. And remember that if you want to become anything you want in your life, you have to become it to become it.